This video will show the process of creating a custom material library for drainage and utilities. Inside of your conduit catalog, you're going to want to assign a material for each one of your conduit classes. And this material is going to set a lot of the values up here in the table, like your Manning's value. It's also going to be what appears if I go to a test file and place a conduit. It's going to be what appears here for the material, as well as in your civil properties. You'll also show a material over here as well. So if you want that to have a certain name to it or have certain properties, then you'll need to create your own custom material library. So let's look at that process. So to do so, we're going to go under Catalog and then choose Engineering Libraries. And I'll go ahead and collapse some of these. And then we'll go down to our material libraries. And when you do this, you're likely going to want to start from the delivered library, and then you can modify it how you need it. So here I'm just going to right-click and save this as DOT material library. Okay, so pay attention to where this is being stored. This is where you're going to want to store this material library locally. Say no here. And then down here is going to be that copy. So now what I can do is I can rename and delete any of these that I want. So I can delete or rename. I can also go in over here and change any of these values. If we want to create a new one, we're just going to right click at the top level and say add a new item, and then you would rename it and then type in your values here. So maybe we want to use the civil properties later on for annotation purposes. So where we see this material that's coming through, we actually want to label that as an RCP. So I can handle that through my material library, and I could go down to concrete and then would want to rename that to RCP. Then I could do the same thing with CMP, PVC, HDP, and so forth. Okay, maybe you also want to use the same for concrete, but you want one for a box. So in that case, I'm going to create a new one. We'll call that RCBC. And then I'm just going to copy the properties from this RCP up here down to the RCBC. Another option is, instead of calling this the name of the conduit, you could just be more generic. Think about how you want to handle the labeling and what you could use this property for. Now I'm going to go back to the conduit catalog, and we're going to assign the materials here. So here I have concrete, and if you do not see your library there, you'll just want to go and add that, and then go and locate that custom library that you've just created. And then I would go down and choose my RCP. And that's going to update everything in my table with those values. And then I would do that for each one. Using the material library as a way to get the material to be in the format that you want for annotation purposes is just one option. We can also add custom properties to the database by using user data extensions to achieve the same. So it's just kind of just going to be a tool in your toolbox if you want to use the material properties as opposed to creating the UDX properties.